Honestly, my dad to me was just truly an amazing man.
Hmm. I
An
agree.
amazing
He really
man.
was an amazing man because your mom passed away when you were young, and to raise
Yes.
all those kids by himself and to stay committed and stay faithful, what to me was always astounding, you know,
Yes.
always astounding, always
And he
strong.
always put us first,
Yep, he
no
did.
matter what. And that
Hmm.
was the other thing. It was like, you know, even though I'm married and got a family, and I'm like, oh my God, who am I going to depend on now?
Hmm.
Because I knew that no matter what, I could free fall and my dad would catch me.
Yep. Yep. I totally agree with you. My mom was that person for
Yep.
me. And like you said, and my mom was just she was a very gentle spirit. You
Yes.
know, she was very loving, she was very compassionate, non-judgmental,
Yep.
easygoing, just such a wonderful, loving person. And my sister and I was talking about it today, how grateful we were to have the kind of mom that taught us about prayer, who taught us about the
Hmm.
word, who taught us about God, and just taught us how to love people, and just all the little sayings that she had that would just crack me up and make me laugh. And she was just amazing. My mama,
Yes, all the
you
little
know.
things she had, her little idiosyncrasy,
Yes,
more than anything, the colloquialism, the little things that her sayings, and that was her. That
that
was
was
her.
her.
She
That was
had a
her.
saying for everything.
She had a saying for
And you
everything.
know what's so crazy?
Mhm.
Growing up around that, even though she wasn't my mom, but I spent so much of my time in your household, in each other, I find myself saying the same things. The same things between your mom and Aunt Ducey. I find myself just saying
Mhm.
those same things. And then I laugh. And
Yeah.
that was the thing about grief. It's like grief is so scary and so funny because it's such a thin line
Mhm.
between keeping your sanity and going insane.
Yes. And
And
it's unpredictable. It
it's
will
very
come on you
unpredictable.
suddenly. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's very unpredictable. And the thing about it is that with grief, it can hit you so hard,
Mhm.
and you have to allow yourself to go through that process.
Yeah.
But the fine line comes when you know you give it that window.
Yeah.
And when you have surpassed that window, where you're in the deep grief, you have to step away from it and
You have
start
to.
living and see them not as the last days. Don't
Yeah.
see them as, the death of them, but see the life of them.
Yeah.
And that was one of my best coping mechanisms. Sometimes I would get so down and so sad and missing my dad, and I would call my siblings and we would cry a little bit together, and then we would end up talking about
Laughing.
something crazy ridiculous that my dad had did, or something crazy ridiculous that he said with such a straight voice, till we end up like just falling out. Because my dad was one of those people who was very, very funny, but he had a dry humor. He was not
Right.
trying to
He
be a
always looked like
comedian.
he looked like he was
Yes,
serious,
he
but
was
you are
serious.
about to
He
pass
was
away laughing.
absolutely serious. But he wasn't trying to be comical, but he was serious, but the words that came out of his mouth
Hilarious.
were hilarious. Exactly. And that's the thing. It's like you can't continue to see them, at the end. You
Yeah.
have to see them in life. And honestly, that is one of the reasons why when people, you know, that I know that's, a little close past.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one that's always wanting to go to the funeral. And I know it's great
Mm-hmm.
to be there for the family. And I can be there, I can be at the house, I can do things, but I do not like my last memory is of somebody being lowered in the ground or in a casket.
I agree.
Sometimes I just like to close my eyes and see them like I always saw them.
Yep. Yep.
I love that. I want to say, and it's hard to navigate because you want to show up for the family, you want to be
Mm-hmm.
there for your friend, but it's like I'll be there after the service.
Right.
I don't
Right.
necessarily want to go to the service because I
Yeah.
don't want that's not a memory that I want to have.
You don't want to retain that. That's not
No,
the way
I
you want to
don't.
see them.
And some
Yeah.
people need, everybody's different. Some
Yeah.
people need to see that for closure.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not one of them. I
Yeah.
don't I don't
I
need to see
I
that for closure.
understand you. And I mean I had a until your mom passed away, I didn't even like to visit people in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember her saying to me, you know, when people are going through a hard time, that's when they need you to show up. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to know when to show up and how
Exactly.
to show up. And from that day on, it changed my perspective. But
Yes.
I am with you. I don't want to be, I want to see you. I want to love on you. I want you to know that I'm present. But I don't want to hold that memory in my mind of that person being lowered or in the casket or the grief that comes because there's so many more moments that are
Yeah.
so precious,
Oh,
you
absolutely.
know?
And
So
that's
yeah.
that's God's gift to us.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't promise that we would be here forever. We knew in the first chapter that, we were going to die. But
Exactly.
but he leaves us with these amazing memories
Yep.
that you carry with you throughout the rest of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's true.
that's
And the person's life is not the one event. It's the
no,
totality, the sum of all of
exactly.
their events. Just like when you were sharing about your dad in World War II and his whole lifespan,
Yes.
and I know for myself I have felt like my life has been in decades or stages. you
Mm-hmm.
know I know that when I grew up I had a name that everyone called me, so anybody who calls me by my nickname, I know who they are and what era
Yes.
of life that is. Then
Yeah.
when I went to college, that was another name and group, but all of these are who I am. They make
Yes.
up the sum of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it's that's what's so important when you look at grief and dying. You don't just stop at that one time and season of that person's life. You have the whole span of their lives, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what's important. That is
And that's why, like, with I had a 93-year-old auntie and another one that was in her 80s that passed within the last year and a half. And I made it a point to go and see them while they were doing well. So
exactly.
it's like if I didn't make a funeral, I'm good.
Yeah.
I wanted to go and spend time with them in life while they're alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody shows up for you during a
After.
funeral. Yes.
Hmm.
And the thing I think is more important to show up in life and
Yeah.
not in death.
Yeah.
To show
Because
up
in
in
death,
life.
the
They
person
don't
doesn't
know.
know. They have
No.
no idea that you're there.
And they
They
were
have no
people,
idea.
and like I said, not everybody, some people when they're going through this, they don't want to see people. And there's
Yeah.
nothing you can do about that. That's their choice.
Yeah.
But there's other people that talks about, so many people and who's been
Hmm.
there, and they would enjoy seeing those people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why me personally, I want to be there in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
That's
like,
true.
when your mom was sick, it's like, I got to get there. I got to go see her. I got to be with her.
Mm-hmm.
That was so much more important to me. Of course, I wanted to make the funeral, but I was sick.
Yeah. Yeah. You did not need to make the funeral. And not only that, all of your siblings showed up. And more than anything, my mom knew how much you loved
Yeah,
her.
how much I loved her.
She knew how much you loved her. And as far as she was concerned, her daughter was there because you were there in spirit. And
Hmm.
you had been there, I mean, all the life that we knew together, you had
Exactly.
spent with
Since we
her.
were 4 years old.
Yep, yep. So, and that's the other thing. It's not just showing up for a season, it's showing up for a lifetime.
Exactly.
It is always showing up. Anytime you have someone in your life and you can let them know because you don't know,
No, you don't. And it's not always elderly.
it's not always
We were
elderly. I know
fortunate
that.
that our parents were, well, not my mom, but my dad was an elderly person when he
Hmm.
passed. But, look at my mom. Not everybody have that to become
Yeah.
elderly before they pass. But the thing is, and that's why I value friendship. And
Hmm.
that's one of the things, and that's a subject for a whole nother day, but I don't feel like people, especially women, have the kind of friendship and understanding of other women like we did
Yeah.
back then.
But you know what I realized after I grew up? What we had was an anomaly. It's not something
Yes,
that everyone has.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's like throughout my life, I have been cheered on by you and your siblings, and I feel like
Hmm.
I've had the opportunity to cheer you on. And I just remember coming to visit your home, the one you're in now, and it felt like my home. It felt like
Hmm.
this wonderful thing had happened to me as it had happened to you. And I don't understand, and I know we're a little ways off the subject, but I don't understand the jealousy, the envy, the
Yes,
whatever that women go through because in my life, I feel that I have been so blessed with people
yes,
who love, embrace, and appreciate me, and who have literally shown up in my
yes.
life, highs and lows. I remember after my mom passed away, every day you would call me for a welfare,
Every single
every
day,
single
probably for
day
what, a year or
for a
so?
year because my dad died 6 months after that.
Yeah.
Then you really amped it up.
We talked every single
Every
morning,
day. Every
every
day.
single day,
Yeah.
sometimes twice a day, on your
Yeah.
way to work and on your way back from work.
Yep. And if Kent was on a job or doing, at school, we
Hmm.
would talk in the evening after I gave my
Yep.
babe a bath. And I'd be like, girl, today was the day.
Exactly. Exactly.